Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to a beautiful day in Houston, Texas. It is quite a nice one outside. I don't know if you can see, but it is clear and it is really sunny. I'm sure you can tell just from the view from my garage. It was pretty cold last night. I think it was in the 30s, but now it's about 50 something, so it's pretty nice. Today we're gonna take out all three of the cars, and when I mean by three, I mean the GS, the Corolla, and the RCF. The WRX, I am definitely going to try and prep it today to be lifted up on the jacks. I'm definitely going to, first thing I'm going to do is going to free up the brake pad from the rotor, make sure that as I'm working on the car that the brake pad is not adhered to the rotor. I don't want to have an imprint on my rotor like I do on my GR Corolla. It's quite upsetting, but it seems to be okay. I mean, there's no, the rotor seems to be breaking in just fine with the pad bedding in slowly but surely. So definitely going to I have to start the car, let it run for about 5 minutes, let the, I think the gasoline treatment run through, and then I'm going to have to rock it back and forth to free up the brakes, and then I'm going to lift it up and put it on the wheel cribs, so that way I can get at least the first step up to start getting to my way to the engine mounts, so I can switch those out. Once I get those engine mounts in, everything else is pretty not rudimentary. Everything else is pretty simple because I've done it already, the pitch stop mount and the transmission mount. So it would be the only real challenge would be the engine mounts, just because they're really hard to get to, and I got to lift the engine up. So there's a lot of work to get to that point. But once we get to that point, it should be a big relief to, first of all, to get all that done, and then working my way back, it's going to be just pure excitement, being able to have the parent upgrades and then taking the WRX back out again. But like I said, probably going to be a couple months. I actually did drop off my Grow Motorsports body kit. I probably already showed the video of me opening it up for the reveal for that. I dropped it off to get PPF done, as well as the spare tires to get the wheels I guess completed, so that way I can, sorry, I stepped on my battery tender, to get my wheels completed, so I can do the spare mod for the RCF, which is an OEM Guam, Hawaii modification requirement, and the GR Corolla, gonna go ahead and do an OEM spare modification for that. Yeah, go ahead and show you guys my battery tender again. I don't remember if I did a video on this already to release, but I got that one. The PulseTech XC400, a little fancy name. But right now it's desulfating my Lexus GS 350 battery. And interestingly enough, first thing I did was I fully charged it with the battery tender, so it was already, I trickle charged it, sorry, with my old trickle charger. I trickle charged it to about 100%. And then I actually checked the battery levels, and surprisingly, the right side, the side that is the positive terminal, the water level is actually really low. So I did fill it all the way back up with distilled water, and I'll show you guys when I start the GS 350 what I'm talking about. And it was same with the WRX. It wasn't as bad. I checked the battery levels on the WRX, the distilled water levels, and it only had one cell was just a little bit low, so I just squirted a little bit of water in. But the GS 350 had a lot of water that evaporated. I'm not sure why. I think the water evaporating is actually due to electrolysis, so maybe the alternator on the Lexus is much better. It was charging it at a much faster rate, possibly even overcharging the battery to cause it to have water evaporate. I do know a lot of people complain about the Subaru WRX having a weak battery. It actually may not be a battery problem. It could be an alternator problem. I personally wouldn't know because I always trickle charge my batteries on my cars, so I wouldn't really no, unfortunately, but I think that may be the case just based on the maintenance that I've done for the batteries. The charging for the WRX may be very, very weak, so it may not be turning on long enough to charge the battery. But the GS definitely may have overcharged the battery because the water levels were really low. Anyways, I'm going to take out the GR Corolla, going to put some miles on it. Hopefully I can get enough miles on it to do an oil change and quickly switch out not switch out, but install the front lip. I like to get that in as soon as possible because I would like to get the bumper guards in for exiting and entering the driveway. But pretty much that's what I'm gonna be doing. I'm just gonna draw my cars. It's a little late, so I gotta be a little bit quick before I lose daylight. And then I'll resume again when I lift up the WRX. All right, see you guys in a bit. Well, actually, why don't we do a little startup for the Corolla. Really like the way this car sounds. That sounds so good. Love it. One thing I do know, a lot of people have said also, is that I'm gonna close the door. Unfortunately, if you can see right here, that used to be my tire pressure gauge. For some reason, it just doesn't want to stay. I think that's a known problem that a lot of people have been complaining about. Hopefully Toyota makes a fix for it. The exhaust is pretty loud. I'm hoping the Fujitsubo is even louder, to be honest, and more aggressive. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. But yeah, I'm gonna get this car on the road, put some miles on it, and then catch you guys again when we work on the WRX. All right. All right, guys, well, we're back. It's nighttime now, but I was able to drive all three cars. I got the GR Corolla out. I did drive the RCF Track Edition, and I did a little night drive actually with the GS350. I got paced by a C43 Mercedes-Benz. Pretty nice car. I wouldn't get it though. I'm not a big Mercedes fan. You know, just want to let you know that I'm not going to get a Mercedes for my next car. But I did do what I wanted to do. I put the WRX up on jack stands, so we are ready for the big three. It is coming up after a long time. I believe this is the final mod for the WRX. I'm trying to remember if there's anything else, and I can't think of anything off the top of my mind. Something that I did want to show you guys. So here's the battery for the GS350. Let me turn on the light here so you guys can see. There are two access lids. There's one right here and one right here. I don't want to touch it just because there's sulfuric acid under these lids, but when you lift them up, you'll be able to see the water levels. And typically, what you'll see is the plastic cylinder kind of going down from the top of the hole. So you'll see a hole, and then there'll be like a cylinder. And then you want the water level to be about to where the bottom of that cylinder is. So surprisingly, the GS350, the three cells that were closest to the positive terminal, the three cells that were closest to the positive terminal were really low on water. And then on the left, the three cells here closest to the negative terminal, they were actually all completely pretty much full to the correct level. So I did fill up the positive cells. I'm sorry, the three cells on the positive side, and I wanted to show you this. This is what I used. It's just a dropper I got off Amazon. I filled it up with distilled water only. And I have the desulfator connected right now to the GS350. Definitely love the HRE rims. Definitely the next luxury, I guess, car I'm going to get. Probably, I kind of want to spec out some HREs for it. So it's going to be a while from now. I don't even have a place really to put it. So, you know, first things first is I got to find a place to park my cars. Preferably a place where I can install a lift, just kind of for ease of access. But here is my RCF. This is the original Lexus battery, the one I hope to keep for a really long time. But as you can tell, it's a little bit different because you see there are kind of like screw covers that you can uncover. You can kind of screw these out. Yep, there you go. This is better. You can screw these out so for each individual cell. And the thing that I really like is it has a hygrometer right there. So right now, you can see, I don't know if you can take that out. Actually, they give you an option to take that out. I'm not going to take that out. But if you notice also, it's the closest to the positive cell. So whenever this goes down too low, I think this hygrometer will turn, let's see, it'll turn to red right here, add distilled water. So the middle one says to add distilled water. This one, which is the red dot, says it just needs charging, and then blue is okay. One thing that kind of sucks is the battery's so far back in the engine. It's really hard to get your head in there to see everything. But luckily, you can probably look down these holes. I had that problem with my GS. It was really difficult to see the water levels because it was just so far back in the engine. The hood was in my way, so I couldn't get a view. WRX, obviously not as well designed for balance. But one good thing is if you look, you see how close it is to the front of the engine. Super easy to just pop these tops off and look inside and make sure these water levels are proper. Interestingly enough, only one cell was really low. Everything else was pretty much where it needs to be. Make sure you wear gloves and eye protection when you do. Maintain these batteries. I mean, it's straight up sulfuric acid in there, so you you do not want to get that on your skin or your eyes. I wore goggles for the Lexus only because I couldn't put on my face mask. I actually wore this for the Subaru. It's actually a lot easier just to put this on. It's more secure. It won't fall off, and obviously, nothing can get around this. I actually use these too. I actually use this mask too when I do my the spherical bushings. When I'm using it on the press. But now that I found that safer method, I'm still going to do it, but I feel a lot better knowing that other method of doing spherical bushings. And I'll be doing spherical bushings on the GR Corolla. So I'll continue to be using my presses. And really glad that I was able to practice on the WRX first before doing the GR Corolla. So I'm quite comfortable pressing out bushings on the GR Corolla and just installing them. I might buy spare parts for the GR Corolla, like spare suspension parts, and pushing the bushings out of those, just so I can have the originals just to put back really quick. That if I screw up too, I don't have to worry too much about having to get extras. I'm not really sure yet though. Maybe some of them I will. We'll see how everything looks. But yeah, I just wanted to show again this beautiful engine. I mean, what a piece of jewelry the RCF is. I mean, this engine is just, this car is spectacular. I park it all the way to the front just because I want to keep it as far away from the garage door as possible. I just don't want anything crawling in from under the garage door and possibly getting onto the car. And on top of that, the further it is away from all the garage door tracks and everything, I feel a little bit better. I mean, it is the most expensive car in my collection, so I do want to keep it pretty safe. If it were up to me, I would have the GR Corolla parked here, but unfortunately I can't lift the WRX, work on it, and have the RCF parked here, so that's an unfortunate circumstance, but it is what it is. It would be really cool if I had a 4 bay garage with each bay going out. That would be bomb, maybe one day. But yeah, I mean, I absolutely love, I think I'd probably come out once a day just to look at my cars. But the RCF is just such a beauty to look at. It's kind of unfortunate that it's parked all the way back here because I can't see the front really of this car. But yeah, look at that carbon fiber. Is that not just beautiful? I mean, look at that. Wow, it is so amazing to see this on my car. I cannot believe this car is in my garage. It still gives me oh God, it's just so amazing to look at. It's so nice. Interesting enough, there's caviar metallic paint right here. They do that, but then right here on the door cap mirror, it is a flat black. Looks almost like an obsidian black, but I know they discontinued that color. But yeah, this is absolutely beautiful. Definitely a keeper. I hope I can keep and maintain all of my cars for as long as possible, hopefully for the entire life of the car. I mean, hopefully something I can pass down generational or even have a museum. How cool would that be to have a museum? But man, that's crazy. But anyways, I'm enjoying these cars. I love them. They're so much fun to drive. Definitely, I am really glad to be able to share this with you guys. And I think that's pretty much it for today. Definitely every weekend I'm going to try to do something with the WRX, as well as trying to do some stuff with the other cars. The GR Corolla has a few easy light mods left. I do have the spare tire mod for the RCF and also the rear skirts. And I do want to put that front lip on when I do an oil change, or even sooner if possible, for the GR Corolla, for the Grow Motorsports front lip body kit. But these cars are they're absolutely amazing to drive. Definitely wish I could buy more. Probably, like I said, Tundra is going to be the next car. I really need that utility truck to drive around. And, of course, I also need a place to park my cars. I mean, I'm not going to put any of these outside. I didn't, buy these cars and modify them and make them look and perform as beautiful as they are, only to throw them outside into the weather. Houston weather's pretty rough, to say at least. But yeah, anyways, that's pretty much it. Gonna have to start work again tomorrow. But anyways, I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you have a great week, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.